Topic 2.
Next, topic 2, which is Stray Kids, I Am You. Their third mini album, which is 8 songs. And we had a mini album last week that was 4 songs, which just shows you how ridiculous mini albums are.
I mean, pretty much it's their fourth, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you have to consider mixtape. Yeah,
it's their third since debut. It's the third part of the trilogy.
Yeah.
But technically, they have 4 mini albums.
Yes.
And yeah, this is closing out the I Am trilogy. And it starts out with an intro, just like the other two, titled You. So this is a pretty interesting song. It's a really chill hip hop style, and then it transitions into this really fast rock beat. And I thought really cool instrumentals.
And they're 3 for 3 when it comes to intro tracks that we wish. Again, it's another one that we wish was way longer, just because. And it's also it's sort of an interesting. Maybe just to spoil it a bit, but with You, and then the last official song on the album outside of mixtape number 3 is 0325. They both incorporate a bit of drum and bass into the instrumental, so it's a nice it's a cool way to bookend
You know that 0325 is all 3 of the intros mixed together, right?
What?
Yeah, 0325 is all 3 of the intros from the 3 albums mixed together.
Wait, what?
It's the exact same beat. Yeah. The instant I heard it, I started freaking out because I was like, "Wait, these are all the intros?" Because I've listened to Stray Kids so much.
Okay, it's just they put new sort of
they answered
stuff
our
over
dreams.
Yeah, exactly. They made a full song out of the intros finally.
Yeah, they just made a remix of it essentially. Okay, well that explains it, but yeah,
that's why they have the same beat.
Yeah, but
it's literally the same beat.
But yeah, no, it's still a cool idea for them to bookend it that.
All right, so for me, what really stood out in this song was again the drum beat that they had throughout the song. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yep.
The rap was pretty good, but I wish it was a little bit longer. But then again, it's an intro, so will not
so you can't go too long.
And yeah, I really, really thought the drums were effective, and for whatever reason, it just reminds me of a 3D Sonic game for some reason. The drumming does, but yeah, I just imagine just like a 3D Sonic game, just falling down from somewhere really high up. I don't know why.
Glitching through the bottom of the freaking stage because 3D Sonic is just garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next we have the title track, I Am You. And this is a more chill, sentimental single from Stray Kids. Except for Changbin's rapping, of course, because he just can't not rap.
It's funny. Changbin probably, if there was somebody that probably deserves to be in MX, it'd probably be Changbin, because he has no off button whatsoever.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought their vocals really shine in the chorus. And I really like how this showcases, and a lot of their songs do this, but this really showcases how unique their voices are. Both their singing and their rapping, they all have a really unique vocal color, which doesn't happen a lot in K-pop, especially for a 9-member group. There's almost always a couple members that sound pretty similar.
Yeah.
And I like how the music video started with My Pace and continued the music, the MV,
the story.
Huh?
Yeah, the story. I don't know.
Yeah, continue. I think that all 3 kind of have a total story, because they broke out of that District 9 thing, and then My Pace is them running away through this weird rave tunnel thing, and then this is the other tunnel. End of the tunnel, with them chilling and hanging out. So yeah, I like the MV because it's just them having fun, just kind of chilling. It matches the song really well, and then their choreo is always really good.
Just a huge sort of no credit to the filmography that they used here. I think that's just a general thing. I really love the sort of cinematography and everything that they've been going with for Stray Kids' music. The only thing that was weird is when they start doing the choreography and it's they're in the back of some truck or something, and it's really bad CG.
Oh yeah.
That's the only shot that was oh okay. They skipped on that part of the budget, but otherwise, it's still an enjoyable single, but in comparison to maybe like District 9 and My Pace, I'd say it'd probably be the weakest of the three. That's just I think that's just a testament to again, just like how insane their output has been, and I'm kind of getting scared at how often they're releasing, and I'm scared. It's like the same thing I have with BTS.
Might
where I'm
fly too close to the sun.
Yeah, no, they might burn out so quickly. I know Three Gotcha probably Three Gotcha's probably like sitting on like hundreds of thousands of songs considering their output on SoundCloud and everything. But yeah, I'd probably like for them to dial it back maybe a bit next year, just so they're not like burned out all the time. Because again, it was only 2 months ago that they released I Am Not, and like where basically again. Where some groups, they either come back in the beginning of the year, at the end of the year, they basically like came back like months apart and everything. So that's gonna take a toll on them after a certain point. But that being said, I do still appreciate the amount of like creativity and artistry that Stray Kids provides to almost all of their music, essentially, just both on the musical front and the visual front. So yeah, again, there's still nothing like this again. So maybe that's why they're trying to strike while the iron is hot, essentially.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this song. The rapping, great as always. The instrumentation, the production, really great. I think really the only thing that I could criticize with it is like with the chorus. I think it lacks a little bit of impact where it could have gone a little harder. I think maybe fix this. They could have gone a little, I guess, harder on like high notes or something like that in the chorus. Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't really know what it was, but I can really put my finger on it the first time I listened to it. I felt like there was just a little bit more that they needed to, because like for example, like District 9, like the chorus hits super hard, like bam, you're slammed with it. And this it's kind of like it's not quite as impactful, I guess, as much as I was expecting.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they've been doing. Like they're definitely been toning it down throughout the trilogy.
Yeah.
In terms of like how hard the songs are. Speaking of hard songs, next is My Side, and I don't know what was happening. I was very confused because it was a rock song, and then it went into hardcore hip hop, and then it went back, and I was really confused. And then the instrumental solo ending was really good, and I honestly had no idea what to think while I was listening to this song. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah, this is the other song I was mentioning before, where it just the rubber banding I felt was way too much. Like they're going for this like emo rock style song, and it's like it's straight up they're doing a Big Bang impersonation if you really think about it. And then they afterwards they go into like they're like really like hardcore like trap style of song. And I don't know, it's another situation where I felt like it maybe just stick to one idea. And again, where that subversion of expectations just sort of like has no effect at this point. And again, I was really enjoying it, and with that like emo rock part, just because it's a really cool style of song that they're doing, that they're sort of leaking into. And I felt like they're probably one of the few boy groups that can pull off that style with their obsession with like rock focused music and guitar driven music. They're probably one of the few ones that can sort of pull off that style that Big Bang sort of pioneered to some degree. It's just like really like emo boy rock music sort of thing, but more cohesion and just more consistency as opposed to just going back and forth between the two.
As soon as I heard this, I was like, ooh, Andrew's not going to like this. Well, personally, I think like what probably happened was they had two songs and they didn't know what to do with them. Let's clue and note it. And see what happens. But
clue and note actually go together. This is just like...
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like I was fine with it. It's just like I was super taken back, like even further than the Monsta X song we were talking about before. Yeah. Like I was like, oh yeah, I like this guitar, and then it's like, boom, we're gonna go hard rap with the insane like electronic beat. And I was just like, it was extremely jarring. However, I was fine with it.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I like the song, but I just didn't know what to think when it was happening. Next is Heroes Soup, which makes me think of Wind Waker. Because I'm pretty sure that's what the grandma makes.
Yeah, the Heroes Soup. Yeah.
Maybe they were playing Wind Waker.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yo, were they born before or after Wind Waker? Like, serious question. Serious question.
I mean, that doesn't really matter, but probably
Wind Waker was like
people
2001, so before
2002, I think,
or 2002. Yeah, so they're probably all older than Wind Waker.
Okay,
but yeah, the first rap part, it's just like pretty chill, like trap. But I like how the beat goes away when the singing starts, and it becomes more of those just like chill EDM. And then there's a little bit of rock thrown in there too. Obviously, this is a mixture of genres that Stray Kids is known for. I mean, they do hip hop, rock, and EDM, and they like to experiment with mixing those sounds. I think this is a good example of that.
Yeah, I feel like this is more effective as opposed to how they handled it with my side. Just because again, they're keeping it's like chill trap as opposed to just like hardcore, like intense trap.
Yep.
And I feel like that, if keeping it on the same level as like the rock elements of the song definitely helps build more, or it keeps it more like uniform and cohesive, and it's not as jarring in terms of the transition. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorites, even though again it's more of a chill track from Stray Kids, and I'm usually just a big fan of like their like intense tracks. So, but yeah, this is the way to do it if they wanted to sort of mix the genres even further than they already do.
Yeah. So for this one, this is definitely more what I was expecting when I heard the beginning of My Side. Like was this style of like more like toned back as far as the vocals and rap goes. Definitely wasn't expecting the chill trap, but I'm actually fine with it. Again, because it was used tastefully and it's not super obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like when I don't like it is when it's just annoying kind of thing. So yeah, I thought this was well done. Vocals were good. The rap is always good. So yeah.
And just an interesting thing is this is probably the first time in a long time that I've heard a fade out on a K-pop track, because the concept of the fade out has just been sort of like almost abandoned in all music essentially. Like if you really think about it, like fade outs are like really popular, like maybe like back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, but you don't really hear it that often anymore, just because like nobody really, just like the concept of albums isn't a thing anymore. But it was a really interesting. I think it's the only one with a fade out too. So I wonder what sort of compelled them to fade this song out as opposed to giving it a proper ending. So it's just an interesting like detail that they added in.
Yeah. Next is Get Cool. It's Tropical House. Holy crap, they did Tropical House. I know there's one on every album this week. Actually, was there? There's like 1.5 on Boa's album. But this actually reminded me a lot of Shine. Did I steal your notes?
Yeah, you stole my notes.
Yeah. It's just that fun like Tropical House style, like just fun song.
Needs more Fortnite dancing.
Yeah. No, please no.
That's it for me.
Again, because I was a really big fan of Awkward Silence off of the last album, and again, I just for a group that's just like, oh, like hardcore, we're hardcore, all we do is like metal and trap and like hardcore hip hop, and then for them to do a song like that was really awesome. So I'm glad that they sort of kept that. They kept that in mind when doing the song, because it's like a really like funny ass. We're gonna get a really funny ass music video out of this, because like that's the one thing I love about Stray Kids is that they never restrict them. JYP never restricts them to just one music video per comeback. So
JYP's got money to blow.
Oh yeah, I mean pretty much everything is making bank at this point. So like, why not? And also I love this for the fact, because this is the other like, misheard lyric that I keep getting like stuck in my head. I love this solely for the fact that every time I hear the chorus, I keep thinking they're singing "Get Good." So it's just like, it's just burned into my mind at this point that they're saying "Get Good" as opposed to "Get Cool." So yeah, I really enjoyed this song a lot.
I thought the song was fun, though this one personally for me stood out less than others. I feel like, because again, I feel like as the year is getting closer to winter, I'm just like, I don't want to hear Tropical House anymore. Like it's not summer anymore.
It's cold as fuck outside. I don't need this.
To me, it's like hearing Christmas music in July.
Hey, no. I listened to Taeyeon's Christmas album.
Not quite that bad, but you know, it's.
I'm fine with Tropical House all year round. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Next we have NS. This is like Stray Kids trap, straight up. Also, we get Australian accents.
Yes.
I did really like the like Asian style instrumentals that they have in the background. I thought it was a nice touch.
Oh man, usually just like these corny trap songs, I'm not a huge fan of, but it's another one I enjoyed a lot just because I can imagine how amazing the choreography for something like this would be if you like 1 Million did it, because like they do outside of K-pop, a lot of like the stuff they do is just like hardcore American trap music. So it'd just be so good for choreography. So, but I don't know if this one would get a music video, to be completely honest. But yeah, the Australian, I live for the Australian accents in trap music. Like, there's just something really like cool about hearing. I mean, like that's like half the reason why like grime and like really like industrial like hip hop out of the UK is just so fascinating, because you have these people with like really like thick English accents and Scottish accents and Irish accents just doing like hardcore trap music, and it's just like it's a subversion compared to like hearing like most trap artists come from America and everything. So it's just really cool. It's just really cool in that aspect.
Oof, let's
Jacob
move on.
didn't like it.
I knew you were gonna like it.
I can't deal with it. It's too, like, I just can't. It's either a meme or it's just bad. I just can't. I can't do it.
Okay, and next we have 0325, which is their debut date. And as we talked about in the
March
beginning,
25th.
This is the mixture of all three intros from the three I Am albums into a full song. So they did what we finally wanted them to. And yeah, I thought it was great. It sounded really cool. Like I said, when I first heard it, I like started freaking out a little bit. So I was like, well, they actually did it. I was like, I know these songs. Where are these from? And then I was like, oh shit, it's all the intros. So yeah, I just thought it was a really cool touch as like just a kind of like a fan. I don't even know if it's like a fan tribute, more it's like a self tribute song, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely a more effective clue note than my side ever would have been. So, yeah, I guess we've pretty much covered all the songs in detail already. So I guess there's not much else to say about it. But it's so weird to consider that they technically only debuted like 7 months ago. Yeah, that's crazy considering like how long the Stray Kids show's around, and considering we reviewed mixtape at like the beginning of the year or whatever. So it's just weird.
I think it was in like December, actually. I feel like.
Did
mixtape was in December.
Really? It says I thought it was 2018.
No, mixtape wasn't 2018. The trilogy was all 2018.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's still weird to consider like just like for how long we've been covering them that they're that fresh in terms of debut.
I remember when Elevator came out, I didn't even realize the Stray Kids show was happening.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
Elevator came out in 2017.
Right, it's
Mixtape
January.
came out in 20.
That's right. Yeah, because the show was 20. All the songs came out during the show, which was 2017. But the album didn't come out till January 8th.
I gave that album a 10. I'm pretty sure.
It might be because Elevator came out first that I thought that.
The MV came out in 2017, before the show came out.
Yeah. That was their like teaser thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still weird to consider that like how like new they are when it feels like they've just been around for forever at this point.
Well, for me, so I remember when Elevatorverse came out, and I didn't realize the show was happening, and I saw this. I was like, "Is this really a JYP group? Holy crap!" It seemed like something more like SM or YG would come out with. So I was really surprised.
And I mean, now at this point, we're just kind of used to it, just because we reviewed almost everything.
JYP is vastly expanding their horizons as a company. So
yeah.
I'm really, really glad to see that. So about this song, wait, what were you going to say?
And this group isn't really a JYP group. Like, it's their group.
No, they're not. They just so happen to be under JYP.
They do everything. They've produced every song.
Three Racha. It's like I'd say like JYP is the Stray Kid, or JYP and Three Racha are the Stray Kids, as like YG and like Tableau was to like Epic High. It's almost like they operate on their own terms essentially.
Yeah. Anyways, about this song, This is probably my favorite on the album. I didn't actually notice at first that it's all the intros at first, but like now that I know that, it makes it that much better. But it's pretty funny though, because that's what actually stood out to me the most about this was the instrumental, and now to notice that it's the intros that we liked and actually like requested, hey, can you make a full song of this?
Well, because
they did.
The transitions were very seamless, so it's not like you ever would notice that they were three separate intro tracks in the first place. And
yeah, they did a good job. I'm wondering if they had this song to begin with, and then they separated the instrumental and the segments and did it that way,
or maybe it's just
the other way around.
Yeah, it's maybe just out of convenience that they had three, or they wanted to put out three mini albums in the year, and then they just ended up like since this is sort of the culmination of the trilogy, to just sort of like leave that as the ending track, so to speak, so sort of to help bring close to like the IM section of their careers. So it's a good bookend.
Finally we have mixtape number 3, which is the album only track. They do this for all 3 of the albums, and they are all remakes of a Three Racha song. This is a remake of For You, so they're all group remakes, like all 9 members. This is For You, which is actually one of my favorite Three Racha songs, so I was happy they did it. It's an acoustic rock song. They actually made it a little less intense for this version,
because I heard I went back and listened to the original version. I was just like, whoa, wait, what?
yeah, it's more intense, like more like, I don't know, harder driving. But so yeah, I like the Three Racha version more, but I do like this a lot. I think it fits well, especially fits well with the album.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's mellowed out a lot more, just because like most of the like rock metal type of music that we've heard from them is just like that more of that new metal rap rock style, whereas this feels a lot more pop rock. So I do love the change of style in that sort of sense. And and I'm guessing, or that's definitely a conscious decision to sort of differentiate it from the original Three Racha version and maybe have it work better in a case where you have a lot more vocalists as opposed to a lot more rappers. So yeah, it's a really cool adaptation, and I hope it's a tradition that they continue on with like their future albums, just because it's really cool, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't end up listening to the Three Racha mixtapes outside of and they just listen to Stray Kids. So it's a cool way to expose people to the music that they're doing on their own.
Changbin rapping over acoustic guitar. Not said.
That's all you want. It's just Changbin at 100%, like full throttle, and just like over like a really emotional, like, or really like chill song.
I really love that, actually. Like rapping acoustic guitar goes like surprisingly well together.
Yeah, surprisingly well.
Like one of my favorite Tableau songs is "Thank You for Breathing," and it does the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
It's on Fever's End.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go to ratings, whatever.
Rankings. Oh god, it's
I said Rankings with an N. But ratings. So for me, surprisingly, did not give it a 10. But I did give it a 6 out of 6 for music. I still like all the tracks a lot, even though they're kind of mellowing out. And I prefer they stick and go back to like the harder stuff, but I still like what they're doing. I only give it a 2 out of 3 for concept, just because the MV wasn't as like, it didn't blow me away or anything. It was good, and I thought the choreo was really good, but yeah, it didn't blow me away. And the bias point, obviously, so 9 out of 10 for me.
Same score, same like distribution as well. Yeah, again, I feel like they're just the level of consistency that a essentially like less than a year old debuted group is putting out is just insane. And god, this is one of the weird situations where, like, if you're really thinking about it, like for like truly Daebak Awards, there's a good chance that Stray Kids may end up like on the artist of the year, like best new artist and artist of the year list, if you really like think about just how consistent they've been. And I don't know if we're ever gonna get a group like that again, honestly, just because it's just because And that's a testament to JYP, just like letting them like have the reins over what they want to do, honestly, and just letting them like be creative. And that mentality definitely has to be rewarded and supported in the K-pop industry. And I hope it's just, again, we're just hoping that it's something that sort of like just like catches fire, and just we see more other big agencies adopt the same sort of mentality. Maybe not with every group, but just maybe have one or two groups that like have this level of creative control and just see how it works out. So yeah, again, it's just they are definitely innovators. They are definitely on the cutting edge when it comes to both just like music and concept, and just releasing this many goddamn songs in 1 year. Like, if you really think about I know we always just like kick Blackpink when they're down, but if you really think about it, like the amount of music that they released in this 1 year is like it's like
3 Blackpinks.
Yeah, it's 3 Blackpinks worth of like discography in 1 year. So that's just unheard of in K-pop.
And it's of like, honestly,
excellent
quality. Like,
there's almost no complaints when it comes to their music. So again, it's just, will they be able to keep this up going into the new year and everything? We'll see. But all I know is this is probably it's a legendary and historic sort of debut for any like guy group, and we're probably going to be talking about Stray Kids' first year. It's the Nintendo Switch of K-pop first years, essentially, to make an allegory. So yeah, 9 out of 10.
So for me, I actually only gave it an 8 out of 10, just because NS I really didn't like at all. Get Cool didn't really blow me away, and this is really minor. Is that My Side and Hero Soup? I feel like them being next to each other is, I think they should have had a buffer between each other because they were kind of similar. So I gave them a 5 out of 6 for music. That being said, because I do think that everything was of good quality and that everything was thoughtful and it wasn't just like, mashed together or whatever, just throw it on there kind of thing. And then 2 out of 3 for concept. I kind of agree with Nate, like it was good, but it was nothing like new for them. They haven't really expanded their boundaries as far as the concept goes. So there's that. And then 1 and 1 for bias because Stray Kids is great, so I give it an 8.
So 9 overall. So they still get the shiny. 4th one in a row.
Oh my god! Right. Yeah, we're just on a roll, and like we're just gonna keep giving shinies just because
give shinies to everyone.
No, because
I meant 4th Stray Kids album in a row to get a shiny.
But because remember last week we gave everything a shiny.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, we're just nonstop at this point.
Next album's definitely getting a shiny. So
yeah,
probably.
Like you don't even need to like spoil it or anything.
Yeah,
like, you should already know. If you know us, you should know. You should know. I could do an hour podcast just on this one song alone. Like, that's how much I love this song. Like this, like, there's this really cool like arpeggio, like like during the verses and everything. That's just like so addicting. Like the bridge that they have is just incredible, and it has like this like slight